Hello everyone, this is Sinan from Masterbyte. Today I'm going to talk about Kotlin Delegation. Delegation is a design pattern in which an object handles a request by delegating to a helper object called the delegate. This delegate is responsible for handling the request on behalf of the original object and making the results available to the original object. This theory is a bit confusing, but I will explain by an example so you will understand very easily. So for this example, I need to create an interface. So let's create it. Let's call it as downloader. This interface can download the file, so it will have a function named download. Now I need to create one more interface which is called player. This interface can play the file, so it will have the function named play. So now we have two interfaces, one is downloader and player. Now we will create a new class called video file. We create the class here. And we pass the two instances of these interfaces, downloader and player. We also inherit these two classes. And we will override their methods, download and play. So here is where the idea of delegation comes. We delegate the functions download and play to these objects downloader and play. For that we just add the code like this. So what we are doing here is that we delegate the responsibility of these two functions download and play to these objects downloader and player. Now we need to create two more classes, one for downloader and one for player, because when we create instance of this class video file, we need to pass these two objects downloader and player. So let's create those classes. First one, let's call it video downloader. Here we pass a file. Let's define as a string for the sake of example, and we inherit from downloader. So here we just print the file. I need to give a value in order to access inside the class. Yes. Now I will create class for player. Call it video player. We pass the file here. inherit from player. file play. Okay. Now we will create the instance of the class video file. First we will create the instance, create a variable for the file. Let's give video file.mkv. Now create instance for the class video file. Now we will pass the arguments downloader and player. Video downloader. Now we will call the functions download and play. Now let's run the code. As you can see the output video file.mkv downloader and the same file is playing. Now this is actually called the delegation pattern. In the class video file you can see that we're delegating the responsibility of these two functions download and play to these objects downloader and play. And now this thing Kotlin supports natively, means we can avoid this boilerplate code like this. And we can simply give this keyword by and downloader. Similarly for player. That's it, it's done. Now let's run the code. Yes, it's working fine. So this is how Kotlin supports delegation pattern by using by keyword natively. You can avoid a lot of boilerplate codes. So that's all for this video. This is Sinan signing off.